Taiwan Trip 2025.
Hi guys, where should we visit in Taiwan? Oh, morning Heng. We can visit Sun Moon Lake, Jiufen, and the night market. I recall you showing me some records, but I didn't write them down. Wow, sounds fun eh? But what sequence should we visit in? Anyone has ideas? I'm not familiar with Taiwan. I also have no idea where Taoyuan International Airport is at too. We should consider their proximity to the airport and hotel. Do you know if we have enough money left? Does Taiwan's weather in Feb demand winter wear? If yes, then we should cut down on hotel spending. But how much is enough? Money like hard to plan leh, so many things. Weather.com can check, but we have to consistently check. Quite a hassle. Who's creating the itinerary? Should we use Google Docs? But formatting the doc with tables and columns, like waste time eh? Welcome to Team TravelGo, done by Hao Yi and Teoh. Recall your last experience planning a trip. Remember how juggling weather forecasts, budgets, maps, and group chats was stressful? What if one tool could handle it all? Travelers waste hours switching between apps. It is fragmented, stressful, and worse for group planning. The excitement gets lost in the chaos. This is where TravelGo comes in handy. It is a one-stop web app that centralizes planning, allowing you to build itineraries, customize user profile settings, receive and relevant weather forecasts, plan and track your budget, arrange your favorite destinations on an interactive map, and collaborate with your travel mates real time. TravelGo is built to last. We use the MERN stack for performance, enforce kiss and dry principles to keep our code clean, and follow agile to decompose problems. Every commit is peer-reviewed on GitHub for version control. So what are you waiting for? Plan your next trip using TravelGo, where adventures start stress-free. Next, we'll be moving on to our demonstration. Firstly, you will arrive at our login page. And if you are a new user, you can choose to register an account where you'll be prompted to key in a username, email, and password. So over here, we will click register. And it will show you that registration is successful and we are being prompted to log in. And when we press login, you will arrive at the landing page. So assuming I'm an existing user, I will click login and I'll arrive at the landing page which shows my current itineraries. I can click on the plus button here and create my own itinerary. I will create an itinerary and click add. It will say itinerary added. Alright, itinerary added. Click on summer vacation. I can now add an activity. So supposedly I will arrive at airport at 3:55 p.m. around there to 4 p.m. Okay. Says other since Taoyuan International Airport. Okay, I'll add. I'll arrive at airport. So now I will add the couple of other activities. So once I have all of this, I can click save and my itinerary will be saved. So next, we'll be moving on to our second feature, which is collaborative planning. So clicking on an itinerary, we can see the invite collaborators button over here. Clicking on it, we can key in our friend's email and key in a very unique invite message. Join me on this trip. And I can click send invite. An invitation will be sent to his email, and going to the email, we can receive the collaboration invite. And yes, the message will be shown here. Clicking on accept invitation will be redirected to this page which confirms that we have accepted the invitation. Going back to this page, I will be able to see that I have invited my friend here as a collaborator. And similarly, my friend will be able to see this itinerary on his landing page afterwards. Do take note that our itinerary collaborative planning function adopts the last right wins method, which means that if they are concurrent edits, the user that clicks saved last will take precedence. Alright, and this is our collaborative function. Next, we'll be moving on to our budget function. So if you click on the budget tab over here, we can select a current itinerary created, for example, summer vacation, and we click start budgeting. Over here, we can edit our total budget, So for example, we prepared 1,000 Singapore dollars and we can click save, and the amount will be reflected accordingly. Over here is all empty because we have yet to add an expense. So for example, we wish to view all our currency in Taiwan dollars because we are going to Taiwan as our destination. The currency will auto-convert a budget to the destination's currency. So if you click add an expense, so for example we ate noodles and we spend 100 in Taiwan dollars, alright? And person A paid for it, a food, and it was ate on 28th. And we click add. This expense will be reflected over here. Supposedly we have another expense, for example on transport. Okay, we spend $500, right, in again Taiwan dollars, but this time person B paid for it on the 29th. We can see that and click add. It will be reflected in the recent expenditures and expenses overview. Under the weekly overview, we can see that the daily breakdown of the expenses. Under all expenditure, we can see all expenditures created in history. The expenditure breakdown function actually allows us to categorize the expenses by transport and food in this case. The split expenses function comes in especially useful, since if we are using in Taiwan dollars, we can see that actually person B and person A owes person B $200 in Taiwan dollars, and you can see the breakdown over here. And if we were to go back to convert this to SGD, all of the expenses will be converted accordingly, and the split expenses makes it very useful for person A to pay person B directly. And this is our third function, the budget function. Next, moving on to our fourth function, which is the weather function. We can go to the weather tab and select a specific location, like our itinerary into Taiwan, and we can see that there is a weather warning being flagged out based on the travel location having a high rainfall of 32 millimeters present in the past year. And if we scroll down further, we can see every day's weather forecast breakdown, and including the sunrise and the sunset, right, timing to facilitate our planning. If we go into general weather and we can select Japan, click on get weather, and we will be able to see Japan's weather forecast for the next 16 days. And over here, we can see our current location's weather forecast. And this is for our weather itinerary app. Next, moving on to our fifth function of our application, which is the map function. Over here, we can select an itinerary and we click load itinerary. We can see that there's an itinerary's breakdown of the activities present. And we scroll down further, we can see the map reflects the itinerary activities locations on this map with icons reflecting transport activities and icons which reflect dining activities, etc. We can go up and we can filter a particular date. For example, on the 27th, we load the itinerary again. It will actually filter only the activities that occur on the particular date selected. And if you see this gray color line over here, it tells us the route to be taken when we travel from a transport activity from point A to point B. And if we zoom in further, we can see here the dining activity. Click on it, we can see the activities details being reflected, and it's color coded based on the type of activity. Notably, for the map function, if you go back to itinerary and we select transport activities, we will see for activities with an unreasonable traveling time, there will be a warning being flagged out. And until we edit timing, which is within a certain range that is considered acceptable by our back-end calculation. For example, we select 40 minutes traveling time and we click save again. The warning will then disappear. Additionally, at the maps page, we can see the instructions page, which tells the user the step-by-step guide on how to use the map. And this is for our map function. Next, moving on to our last function, which is the user profile customization function. So over here, we can click on edit profile photo and we can upload a photo required. And we click upload and we'll be able to see reflected. Under About Me, the user can key in its own bio, for example, travel, and a favorite destination, for example, the China, and a gender, and edit its date of birth respectively, current location, and click save. And the user information will be updated accordingly. The user is also able to select its security information, for example, to customize whether he or she receives an email notification, and to edit its own password. Until the user keys in a matching new password and the confirmation password, there will be a warning here. And if the user attempts to click save, it will tell you that the new password cannot be the same as the current password. So supposedly I edit this password. Okay, I click save. It will tell me that the current password is incorrect. And until the user keys in the correct current password and click save, the password will be updated successfully. And for email-wise, the user is able to change its current email to a new email and click send code. There will be a verification code sent to this email address over here, and we see received the verification code. You just have to copy this verification code here and click verify. Email will be updated successfully. And this is the last function, user profile customization of our application.